Hey everyone, we are going to go ahead and get started with our October huge team huddle. We have so many different teams that are coming together tonight to participate in this. So many amazing leaders. I cannot wait for you guys to hear from everyone tonight. So for those of you that don't know, my name is Alyssa Bowman. I have been with the company for 8 years. I live in Houston, Texas, and I am an Ambassador Diamond. So we are just gonna blow through some tips, you guys, tonight. So get out your notebooks, get ready for some tough love, some exciting things. We have so many different mixtures of personalities on here tonight. So it's gonna be a good one. And we are so thankful that you are on or watching the recording. Okay, so I love October, just in general. I love a new month, but I love October for so many different reasons. First of all, conference tickets were already released, so I'm pumped about that. How many of you guys have your conference tickets? You can go ahead and share in the chat. If you don't, y'all, the company is basically paying us to go to our conference. Get your tickets ASAP. You can use your commission check. You can use all the fast starts that you're going to get from the promo codes you're going to get to pay your way to get to conference. So make sure you're doing that. But I also love October, y'all, because I joined the business in the middle of September. So October was my very first month in the business. It was the first time that I truly saw the potential income that you could make when you stayed consistent. In the next month, I went diamond, you guys, and I saw my first 4-figure paycheck. So I love the fall because I know what can happen so quickly if you hustle. But what I wanted to talk to you tonight about in my little 2 to 3 minutes that I'm going to share is just, I'm going to get really vulnerable with you guys and just tell you a trap that I've been falling into that I think so many of us do. For those of you that don't know, I had a baby 5 months ago, and that clearly changed things in my life. It was, my first baby. I do get to work from home, but sleep deprivation and all of the things that happen when you have a baby, I was just thrown off of my normal routine. And while I am ready to rumble now and I feel like I've got my life back and my brain back, something that I noticed I've been doing these last few weeks is I would wake up and look at my to-do list, and I would start knocking off all of these personal things on my to-do list. Like, I've got to catch up on laundry, I've got to do the dishes, I've got to do XYZ. All of these things that don't make me any money that I felt the pressure that I needed to do because I used to have more time. And so I would tell myself things like, okay, when he takes his first nap, I'll do laundry and this and this and this. And then once I've done that, I'll feel good about sending out my messages. And you guys, I was just stalling on income producing activities for whatever reason. And I would think, okay, I got all this stuff done tomorrow. And so tomorrow I'll send out twice as many messages because I didn't get out as many today. And what would happen? The next day I would wake up and I would still have this long list of personal things to do. And I still wasn't getting out nearly as much as I wanted to. And I was anxious and I wasn't proud of myself each night going to bed. And so I just made the decision that personal development's coming first, and business is the first thing to do on my to-do list. And all of the personal stuff can wait because the goals that I have for my business this fall are important to me. And they're important enough to push some of those other things aside and stop avoiding the work. So my encouragement for you guys tonight is just to start doing the work, start taking the action. Nothing will change without action in this business. You can have the best mindset, but if you're not taking the steps, your check's not going to change. And you can do all of the action, but have an awful mindset and nothing will change. You've got to have a blend of both. So make time for the personal development and then start taking action, guys. And do not take this first week of October to prepare for the month. I see people do it every month. They set these huge goals. They're super excited. They're like, okay, I'm going to just get my list ready, and I'm going to plan out my posts, and I'm going to do this, and I'm going to get my planner all cute and ready. And then they look up and it's the 5th, 6th, 7th of the month, and they're ready to work. And then they take off the last few days of the month because they realize they're so far from the goal. And so now it's been 10, 11, 12 days out of a month where you have been sitting back and not working. So take action starting tonight. I don't care how well you planned out your day. I don't care how cute your planner looks. Tonight you are taking action before you go to bed, because today is day 1 of October and you are going to show up for your business every single day this month. You've got a full 31 days to reach whatever goal it is you have for your business, and it starts now. So I'm going to pass it off to my friend Whitney. Whitney, are you on here?
Yeah, I'm here.
Hey, friend.
Hi.
Go ahead and you introduce yourself and share your tip for us.
Okay, and I did set a clock, so I won't go over.
Oh,
okay?
I already did, so we're good.
My name is Whitney Slack, and I'm a presidential diamond from Fort Worth, Texas. And I'm going to talk to you about the power of an hour and building your business in 1 hour increments. You guys, I started this business when my kids were 1 and 3. I did not want a full-time job. I still have zero desire to have a full-time job. I'm here to tell you, I don't want to work 8 hours a day. I don't. That's not why I joined a business like this. So what I've done from the beginning is I have utilized an hour. And when my boys were little, when I laid them down at noon, I worked every single day from 12 to 1 or 12 to 1:30 when I laid them down. That was a non-negotiable for me. And so I believe that I went diamond October 30. I went diamond on Halloween, October 31st, I think. And I was so excited. And I'm the same. The boom happens in the fall too, if you do the work. And I did the work. An hour every single day at nap time was a non-negotiable for me. And what I did in that time was let me back up. I time blocked my day always. So I knew that I didn't do anything between 12 and 1 or 12 and 2 because I was going to work my business at that time. So those of you that love planners and you want to, or whatever, get your planner out and plan out your week and set your non-negotiable work time. If you want this business to pay you like a job, you need to work it like a job, not falling into the trap of, oh, I'll fit it in school pickup, or, oh, I'll fit it in while they eat breakfast, or, oh, I'll do this after my kids go to bed. No, you will not. You won't do it. So set your time that you're going to work and you stick to it. You don't go out to eat with your girlfriends. You don't go take a nap. You don't watch Netflix. You work at that time. And you guys, I'm not asking you to work 4 hours at a time. I've never had that kind of time. I still don't. I went presidential with 3 kids at home and I was homeschooling one of them. So you can do this in 1 hour increments. And so time block your day. I work usually an hour in the morning, an hour when my little girl takes a nap, and then I usually work about an hour when my kids go to bed. And then I work. I have a life. I have a house. I have a husband. I have things I have to do. There's no maid. There's no cook. Those things still have to happen, but my work is a priority for me. And it's a time block. And get an accountability partner. Let them know what your time block is, and you work your business. I have one, and we message every day. Hey, I sent my 25 messages. And we tell each other what our non-negotiables are, and we knock those out. I believe 100% in the power of an hour. And if you don't have an hour, you need to take a real good look at your day and your priorities because you have an hour in there. And so, okay, what do you do in the hour? I have non-negotiables that I do every single day. And every single day, the first thing that I do when I sit down is I message. I can get distracted very easily. So for me, the number one non-negotiable is messaging. So I sit down, I don't add, I don't interact, I don't scroll, I don't do anything until I send my messages that day. So my first non-negotiable is I message. My second one is then I will add on both platforms, Facebook and Instagram. I interact throughout the day. So my solid hour of work, I usually don't spend that time interacting because we all know that we pick up our phone. So use those 5 minutes that you pick up your phone every hour and interact. I follow up because if you're working daily, you should have leads from the day before. So if you're working every day, you should have people to follow up with the next day because you should have leads. So message, follow up, add on both platforms. I also take this time to teach my team. If you want to duplicate something, when you do something that is working for you, you need to tell your team about it. So that's what I also do during that time. And then I also do professional development. So I don't do professional development in that hour, but that's a non-negotiable for me during the day. I do that when I exercise. I do that when I drive my kids to school, when I pick my kids up. So I have 30 seconds, but that is how much you can get done in an hour. You really, truly can. I work an hour in the morning, an hour in the afternoon, and an hour at night. And you can be a presidential diamond. That was really fast talking.
You did so good. Think of how much you can get done in 5 minutes.
Y'all, 4 minutes, 51 seconds.
You have like 4 more seconds if you want.
I just think that October is going to be great, and I'm so excited about the double points. I'm just pumped about it.
Okay, who are you passing the mic to?
Oh, I don't know.
Sorry, I'm next. It's okay. I'll go.
She'll introduce herself.
Hey.
Hey.
I think I'm next at least.
Yeah, I think you are.
Hi, everyone. I'm Sarah Brewer. I am a triple diamond, and I'm probably going to be short and sweet. My brain was a little scattered just before this, but I feel like that's a good reason for what I'm talking about. So I've been hearing a lot of like, life is happening, I'm busy, I'm tired. I have several pregnant ladies on my team. I just had a baby as well about 4 months ago. And I started when I was pregnant. So I've had 2 babies in the 2 years that I've been in this business. And it was really easy for me, especially when I first got pregnant with Knox, my second, to use the tired excuse, or like I was sick, like I had morning sickness and whatnot. And even if you're not pregnant, like you're probably waking up at whatever time, going to a job all day, whatever that job is. And then you're coming home, you probably have wife duties, mom duties, college, homework. There's a lot of life going on. So like put a comment or a 1 in the chat if you've been in for at least a week and something has happened in your life at least once a month, or it, sorry, my dog just distracted me because she almost went into the room that Knox is in, trying to sleep. But okay, so lots of ones, I'm seeing them pop up. Life happens every single month, and I tell this to my team a lot, because I just know that life's gonna happen, whether it's good things, maybe not so good things that you didn't plan for, but for the most part, you can kind of plan your business around your life. And actually, we don't want you to plan it around your life. We want you to incorporate your business into your life. So whatever's going on in your life, don't think you have to compartmentalize, like, okay, I have to like just post about the business and then like go on with my life. Like, no, incorporate what's going on in your life or what's going on in your business into your life, and vice versa. Hopefully that makes sense. And then something that that I feel like I've heard a lot of is like, well, kind of what Whitney just talked about is just having the discipline. So obviously, as you're going like through this month and through the next 90 days, just know that if you wake up every morning and say, I'm going to spend X amount of time on my business, and then just do it. Find that accountability sister, find that partner that you want to run this race with, find somebody who's going for the same promotion as you and lock arms with them. And just take the I'm too busy or I'm too tired excuse off of the table. Take it off the table. Like, don't even say it for the next 90 days. And I can just guarantee you that your business is it's gonna thrive. And I'm so excited to see where we're gonna be in the next 90 days by the time 2020 hit. Okay, that's all I got. I'm going to Brielle now.
Hey friends, how are you? My name is Brielle. I am 24 years old. I am also a triple diamond with the business. Not for long, because I'm going to be presidential so dang soon. I am ready for it. And I started this business 2 years ago, which is a little crazy to think about that it's been 2 years, but time flies when you're having fun. I started this business in college, actually. I think I'm the youngest person here, which is kind of weird. So representing the young people out there, young, single, not a mom. So if you're like me, yes, you can still be successful in this business if you are, a young person. So here I am. Like I said, I started this in college. I was a major dork in school. I always say this because I got like 1 B in college and I acted like it was the end of the world. I called my dad hysterically crying and acted like it was the worst thing that could possibly happen to me. And it wasn't, but I'm a drama queen. So when that happened, I was like, I'm never going to get another B again. But I was also working 2 other jobs, super busy. And then this business just happened to fall into my lap as I was going into my senior year. And what happened was I turned it down because I was like, I'm too busy for this. I can't afford to, spend any more time on anything else. But what I learned was that obviously this business, you can work on your own time and schedule. So it paid off because I was able to quit one of my other jobs that took up a lot of my time, open up free time, and make extra money while I was in school. When I graduated from school, I had no idea what I was going to do with my life. Literally no clue. So I decided to go to our conference because I graduated in December. I went to our conference in January, and at that point still was just a little old executive in the business. And I went in and really had no expectations, but I watched all these people go on stage for our Millionaires Club, and I was literally like, what the what? This could be me. I could be doing this too. So I literally just took off. I said, I'm going to take what I've learned from this conference and know that I could be up on that stage too one day. And I started to do my steps to success every month. You guys, doing your steps to success, I promise you, you will be surprised where you will be in 1 year from just doing your steps to success every single month. That's what I did. And guess what? 1 year later, I was a triple diamond with the business, even though I was an executive going into that conference. So it's crazy what can happen when you are just consistent. But the main thing that I wanted to really talk to you guys about, aside from just being consistent every day and getting those steps to success done, is having fun with it and building relationships with your team. Because I think one of the big reasons why I have a lot of girls stick around on my team, and you might be sitting here wondering like, oh my gosh, like every distributor I sign like doesn't want to work with me. Well, think about it. Maybe the reason why they don't want to work with you is because, you're just really messaging them like, hey, so did you get that post up today? Did you message those 50 people I told you to? No, that's not what you're supposed to do. Yes, you're supposed to be there for them as a leader and lead them in the right direction. But you also want to be able to, message them and be like, hey, how are you today? Like, oh my gosh, like, did you watch that episode of The Bachelor? Because I did, and how good was that? That's what I want with my team. I want to be friends with my team. Every time I enroll a new distributor, I say that they are going to be my next best friend. I am currently looking for, even though I work Instagram a lot, lately I've been following a lot of people in the Philly area because I am from that area, because I want to look for people that I can kind of hang out with and just be friends with. It's just more fun to be friends with your team. And that's why I have teams that stick around, because why wouldn't you want to stick around when you're working with your best friends? Yes, all of us probably join this for an extra $200 a month. But yes, we probably stuck around because we met friends through this business that we want to be able to work with and have a good time with, go to conference with, all of that good stuff. So yes, yay, Team Brielle, go Team Brielle. So that being said, I am going to pass the mic over to my dear friend, Megan.
Hey everybody, how are you? Thanks, Brielle. Wait, I am so not organized, but you inspired me to set the timer, so I'm doing that. Thank you, Whitney, coming in. My name is Megan. I live up at the Jersey Shore. I'm a triple diamond, soon to be ambassador, because why not? Like, that's why I'm like going I'm not gonna just skip over press and go ambassador. That's how I feel. And I just want to kind of share about a little bit about, I want to talk about your story. And it really was an event that made me think about this. I started with this business with no social media experience whatsoever. So when I started It Works, I had to create Instagram first because I felt like it was more private. So I created an Instagram account, and then I went onto Facebook. And when I started social media, I really didn't know who I was. I was a mom. I was a bartender. You know, I love my kids. I love my husband. And I really didn't have anything. You know, I didn't feel like I had a story. So it was the first cruise that happened 3 years ago. And I was at the cruise, and I'll never forget, we were talking with other successful leaders. And I just stood back, and I was with Kim, and I was just hearing somebody talk about how they went through domestic violence, right? And I was like, wow, that's crazy. And all of her team had something in common with her, that they went through, overcame domestic violence, right? And I was like, that's crazy. And I was sitting at lunch with Kim, and I'll never forget, I was like, I don't have a niche, like, or a niche, or whatever you say. Like, I don't have anything like that. I'm nothing special. And then I was like, wait a minute. At that time, I was in recovery for 10 years. You know, I stopped drinking when I was 25, and that was a huge part of my story. And I buried that for so long being a mom. And I was like, oh my gosh, I do have a story, right? So I got off that cruise. I'll never forget. We drove home from Florida to New Jersey, and I got in Facebook groups with other moms that didn't drink and had the same experience. I started connecting with people that talked my language, that spoke my language, that instantly knew what I was talking about. So my business really started taking off when I started connecting with people who trusted me immediately. And when I started doing that, I had a confidence in myself then to talk about my story on Facebook, because now I feel as if Facebook has given me the platform to help others, right? So now I do speak about my recovery, and people know about that, but that's not all I'm about. But I'm also, I think it's so crazy how looking back in the last 3 years, right, how your story of just evolves, right? So you start one way and your story is going to be changing, but because of my vision has grown so much in the last, really since Diamond Weekend, when Ashley gave me permission, she gave me permission, and I was like, all right, whatever you say, I'm going to do. And she gave me permission to start growing and my vision and dreaming bigger. And my story now has changed so much that I am so loud about it, and I am so proud about it. And I think being confident about being what your story is going to inspire others, but also being relatable. And I'm not the girl on Instagram that's doing selfies that like looks cute. I'm always in my pajamas. Like but what I can do is I can share my experience. I can share my experience. I can share my hope with people. And I think that has a lot to do when you're sharing about your story, because we all have a story. We all have skeletons in the closet, and not that Facebook needs to know all about that, but there's something that you went through that you can help somebody and you can inspire others just by being you. And I think just being that brand of you is going to help people trust you immediately when being in the business. So that's all I got. My vision is bigger than ever. Oh, and the other thing, I have 55 seconds, so I could say this. I was going through my volume from last year, and I love this time. Alyssa said October, and I love this time because I was looking at my volume from September of last year to where we were in January and March. And I'm just so confident in this process. But that's another story that we can write about where we were last year. I look back in my e-suite from last year, and that gives me oh my gosh, you know what I mean? Like I remember when we were there, and look at how this year has transformed. So if you feel like you don't have a story, like everyone has a story, and I hope I'm just being I'm explaining myself properly, but that's all I have. I'm trying to catch the remarks in the chat, so that's all I got. Oh, who's next? Sorry. 53 seconds to spare. There you go.
It's me, Meg.
Okay, Amy.
No, Ashley.
Oh, hey, Ash, I'm sorry. Pass it to you. Pass.
Is that right? Do I have the right picture? I think that's me. That was so good. So good. So good, Meg. Okay, you guys, I don't do these Zooms very quickly. So I was like, I don't know if y'all want me on this chat, but this is either going to be 2 minutes or 2 hours. I'm going to shoot for 2 minutes. So I had a good talk with a girl yesterday who told me who I know her brain works a lot like mine. And I don't know if you guys, I'm not very good at drop a 1 in the comments, but I liked that. So drop a 1 if you feel me on this one, ladies and gents. Are you someone that is all or nothing? Okay. Y'all are just dropping ones. You don't even know what for. Don't just drop a 1. Drop a 1 if you are somebody that like you roll, you are all or nothing. Like you are on the wagon or you are off the wagon. You are eating salads and macadamia nuts, or you're like double fisting Taco Villa burritos. Like there's no in between. Okay, that's me. So here's the problem is that I'm obsessed with this business. And so that works for me really, really well. But whenever I'm not obsessed with this business and I'm not having a great day, I'm like in bed, don't talk to me, pull the covers over my head, can't even like send out one message because I'm literally either up here or I don't know. So my point is that I think because so many of us fall into that trap, we have to be very, very careful. And I know this is going to sound like weird advice from somebody that's like, go balls out all the time. But what I am learning is that there is a lot to be found in the margin of life, of this business, with working out, with eating right, with good decisions that you want to make for your life. Like there's a lot of success that can be found in the margins that you don't have to be over off in the rumble strips like all the time, right? It can be somewhere in the middle. And so it's as simple, you guys, as waking up and doing something for your business that day. I think the problem that we fall into is that when we do nothing, it puts us in this shame cycle or this guilt cycle of, and it lets Satan kind of start playing with our mind a little bit about, I'm not good at this, or look, that's just one more day that I let myself down. And you start getting into this cycle, which then makes you not want to get up and work the next day, right? But what happens if you just show up for yourself and you do something? Showing up for yourself creates this tiny sliver of confidence that I did what I said I was going to do. Now, here's the problem. If you're writing on your to-do list, if your to-do list has like 9,000 things on it, okay, and you want to accomplish 9,000 things, like I'm all for going all out, but make sure that as you're getting started, like it's okay if you don't write down, I'm sending out 500 messages today. Like, that's great, but if not sending out 500 messages is going to make you feel like a failure, what if you just do 50? You know, I'll leave you with this. I have a trainer that I just love, and it's taken her about 8 months to really understand how warped and messed up my brain kind of is with this all or nothing thing. And so today, this was the simplest thing, but she told me last week, she started preparing me. Hey, on Tuesday, Thursdays, when I don't come to your house to train you, you're going to start doing these baby HIIT, stands for high intensity interval training. I think, I'm not sure. I'm not an athlete, but I think that's what it stands for. She's like, you're going to do these little things. It's going to be this quick little spurt of energy, and you're going to just get it done. It's going to take you like 10 seconds. And you guys, I put it off all day. The only thing she had me do was do burpees to this song called Roxanne by the Police. Some of y'all are like 19. You don't know what that song is, but every time you do Roxanne, you're supposed to do a burpee. And I went, this is so dumb. I could do this in like 5 seconds. But y'all, I looked up and it was 3 o'clock before I even did it, because it was something so small and simple that I had to do, but I was still putting it off because, again, I don't know how to live in the middle. And I finally just put everything down and went, this is dumb. I'm avoiding the simplest amount of work. And so I went and did the simplest amount of work. And guess what? That led me to want to do some sit-ups. That led me to want to do a plank. That led me to want to do a little bit more, right? Because I was jumping in and just doing the work. And so I hope that makes sense in how it can apply to your business as well, that a lot of times it's just building that confidence and showing up for yourself, doing the simplest thing and going, you know what, I'm not going to try to be ambassador tomorrow. Just like I can't wake up and say, I'm going to be a size 4 today. That's not going to happen. But I can take consistent daily steps and then look up and be a different person in 90 days. And that's what I'm going for. That's what I want for you guys. I hope that was under 5 minutes. Okay, I'm done. Bye.
I am so proud of you. Way to go. That was so good.
Oh, I don't know who. Oh, I know who
I know. I'll let you introduce her.
Ladies and gent, I have the extreme privilege and honor of introducing you to the one, the only, Rosa Nunez. Woo!
Hi.
Rosa Nunez. I'm a triple diamond leader, and I am Latina, and I'm going to be part of this Zoom speaking Spanish, all right, for the Latina community that is growing here on Ashley's team. I've been with It Works 5 years, and like I said before, I am triple diamond. So now I'm going to be talking Spanish for you guys. So, le voy a explicar algo. Lo sencillo de esta compañía es siempre mantener la idea de que es muy simple. Por ser tan simple es que nosotros dejamos las cosas para después. Y en ese transcurso de la simplicidad del negocio es que vienen los altas y bajas. Yo le digo a todas las personas que están ahora mismo directamente en mi equipo, esto es tan simple que es imposible de creerlo. A veces lo vemos que en realidad es tan fácil que decimos, no es posible que sea tan fácil y que yo esté en tal rango ganando tal dinero solo desde las redes sociales. Pues sí, créalo. Es súper fácil. Es tan fácil como tú estar en tu celular chateando todo el día con tus amigas, a diferencia de que aquí tú vas a estar chateando con personas que te van a generar un volumen, un ingreso, y tú vas a crecer eventualmente en el negocio. Entonces, recuerden eso, mantengan el negocio simple. Yo en lo personal tengo 5 años y he llegado al rango que estoy manteniéndolo simple, pero a la misma vez no dejándome confiar de lo simple que es y manteniendo la consistencia y la disciplina, porque cuando vemos lo simple que es hacer el negocio, siempre perdemos perdemos el rumbo de tener una disciplina diaria. Perdemos ese rumbo y tenemos que hacer una disciplina constante para hacer todo lo que toca día a día. También les voy a decir, aprendizaje, apréndanse por favor 3 productos, lo que más ustedes amen, lo que más les guste, apréndanse esos productos y a esos productos en especial, denle duro en las redes. Yo me refiero a darle duro en las redes, promocionarlo duro, ustedes usando, hablando de ello, pero a la misma vez dejando saber a todo el mundo que la compañía tiene más productos disponibles para todos. Entonces, así es que yo trabajo. Me gusta dar buena información y me gusta estar siempre bien educada de lo que estoy promoviendo. Por eso le digo aprendizaje. Otra cosa que a mí me funciona bastante son las metas mentales. Cada vez que yo me levanto, tengo mi meta diaria y mi meta diaria es entrar diario un cliente leal. Y en la semana entrar 2 distribuidores. A veces no lo logro en un día, pero al día siguiente digo, bueno, hoy me debo yo misma 2 clientes leales. Todo eso cuando ustedes lo ponen en acción, su cerebro está funcionando con el universo y créanme que sí funciona y sí se van a convertir en una máquina registradora, porque eso es lo que a mí me funciona. También otra cosa, conozcan todas las personas con las que ustedes hablan. Si una persona le envía un mensaje, ustedes están chateando con una persona que ya le habló, le preguntó por el producto, ustedes tienen que saber sus inquietudes y sus necesidades y publicar basado en esas necesidades para cuando esa persona lea tu comentario, lea tu post, de una vez se siente identificada y ahí tú cierras esa venta directamente. Eso me funciona a mí para poder lograr mi venta día a día, de un día a la vez, con mis ventas mentales. Otra cosa, activan su autoenvío con 150 puntos. 150 puntos ustedes van a estar tranquilas, relajadas con lo que es sus comisiones y van a trabajar para crecer y desarrollar completamente su tabla, su rango y ir por más. Eso no le va a usted mantener estancado en el nivel de no seguir avanzando. Esto es el final, estos son mis tips, unos cuantos, porque yo puedo hacer como Ashley, 2 horas hablando y no acabo. So this is all I can say on my part. I hope this is helpful for the Latinos. And who's next is Kim. My friend Kim from Jersey.
You need to go read the chat, Rosa.
You see?
That was so good. I wish I understood. Oh, Rosa, I'm so excited to see you in Mexico. All right, guys. Hey, everybody. Oh, let me start my timer. What do we got? Hang on. Start. Hey guys, I'm Kim. I'm in my 20s. I'm from Jersey, but I really do want to talk about less about me and so much more about the moments that we have right now in the fall, because our team, this is the part of the year that our team is always the most excited for, just because we always start building momentum in the fall, starting really in September. But I want to talk to you guys tonight about the reflection of what that means for our future, because it's just what has been the trend for our team for 3-4 years now. And so because we push in the fall, because we make commitments in the fall, because we get disciplined in the fall, because we put our excuses to the side and do the damn thing in the fall, that is why we always have an explosive growth, much larger every single year. But we are just so disciplined to make sure that we really connect the dots between where we want to be right now and where we want to be in conference. And, obviously conference, you can go there in January, February, and you can experience all the things. But I am telling you right now, if you don't stay disciplined through these next 3 months, then your explosion in conference might not look like what we are preparing for. You know what I mean? And so I wanted just to let you know that your work that you put in, and this goes for any time of year, guys. Any time of year, your work reflects 3 months after you put the work in, typically. That's at least what I've noticed. And so knowing that, looking back on who stayed plugged in all summer and who was growing their network all summer, posting, following up all summer, those are the teammates that I'm working with right now whose businesses are exploding right now, okay? And so knowing that, wouldn't you rather put in the work now and stay disciplined now so that come 2020, because that sounds like a boss year to me. I don't know about you guys, but 2019, I'm here for it, but 2020 sounds good to me. It feels really good to me. And so wouldn't you rather enter the new year by putting the work in now and knowing what you're going to harvest in 3 months? It's just the way this business goes, guys. And so, I just want to encourage you to stay really disciplined this time of year. If you haven't been all year, that's okay. Like Ashley always told me, God gives us new mercies every single day. Well, he does the same thing with your months too, okay, guys? You don't have to let September or the summer or yesterday bleed into what you're putting in today and for the rest of this year. So wake up every single day and just wipe the slate clean and give it your best that you can. And that's my best advice for you, because if you just let one day turn, like Alyssa said right from the beginning, if you let one day turn into your week, turn into your month, turn into your 2019, turn into your life, guys, that's on you. And so the best thing that you can do right now is be disciplined. And so that is how we get from where we are now to where you are dreaming of being starting out the first quarter in 2020. Truly, it's by those small wins that, it's a combination of everything that everybody's saying, guys. It's those small wins that you need to get addicted to throughout your days, whether it be, getting 10 new follows on Instagram, whether it be making 2 more serious leads for your business, whatever the case may be, get addicted to those small wins, and that will carry you through the rest of the year, I promise. And I just really hope that everybody decides to make that commitment, because I know we are over here in Jersey and things are going amazing. So inviting everybody to also do that with us so that we can really celebrate Team Sinclair big in the first quarter of 2020. Val's next.
Hey. Okay, hold on. I have my timer too. Let me put this up. So I have been sitting here looking at my notes, because everyone has basically hit what I was wanting to say, but it was a little bit of touch here and a little bit of touch there. And so what I really wanted to talk about is kind of what Ashley talked about, where she said the middle, kind of hanging out in the middle. I saw a lot of people putting ones that you're just one extreme or the other. And I listened to a podcast today. It's by Stephen Furtick, Elevation Church. You need to go find it, because it was called, oh crap, I forgot what it was called, but it was something about being in the middle, managing the middle, okay? Managing the middle. And what he was talking about, and I'm going to get a little preachy and a little like Jesus on you for a second, but he was talking about the difference between Moses and Joshua. Because if you guys don't know that Bible story, they both were leading the Israelites, and they were both promised the promised land. Moses saw it. Moses was promised to see the promised land, and he did, but he was never there. And then Joshua was the one that actually was given the promised land. And what he was talking about, like a big summary of it, what he was talking about is the difference between Moses and Joshua, because Moses got there, he got them to the promised land, but they weren't able to go through, and they were stuck there for 40 years. And I truly, truly related that to the business, because how many of us at one point or another have felt stuck in our business? And he was saying that the reason that Moses was stuck was because even though he was promised to see the promised land, he did see it. He was on a mountain, he saw it, he just never was able to make it there. And it was because he was too afraid, he had too many doubts, and he cared too much about what other people thought. And it wasn't until Joshua, who was the faithful one, not that Moses wasn't faithful, he parted the Red Sea for goodness sake, but Joshua was the faithful one. And he was talking about how Joshua told 12 men to go get 12 stones and go stand in the middle of the Jordan River. And when they put those 12 stones down, the waters stopped and they were able to cross over. And that was the beginning of them claiming their promised land. And it just resonated me when Ashley said the middle. It's like, that's what I have to talk about. Like, tell me what to talk about, God, because this is what I needed to talk about. And so right now, a lot of us are in the middle, and God has blessed you tremendously. Maybe in the past, or he's blessing you right now. God is in charge of the blessing, but we're in charge of managing. We are in charge of managing the middle. And some of us have dropped the ball, including myself. We have dropped the ball on managing the middle, and you've got to get back into that mode of, I have got to manage what God has given me. He's blessed me with it, but now I have to manage it. And so I was comparing myself with, are you Moses, where you just want to see it? You're the one that talks about diamond. You're the one that talks about triple diamond. You're the one that talks about ambassador, and you see other people do it. So you see it, but because of your fears and your doubts and your hesitations, you never will accomplish it, because you have to stay true and you have to stay faithful. Joshua may have been nervous. He may have been scared, but he was faithful and he took the action. He took the action and the guy stood in the water, and that's how the river parted, and that's how they were able to cross over. And then they were able to receive the blessing that God had. So I feel like that's what I really needed to say. And I'm sorry if that was a little like Bible verse Sunday school, but go listen to that podcast, because it truly, truly just wrecked my brain today listening to that. And then the other thing I'm going to leave you with is another podcast. I'm a huge self-developer, which I was never a self-developer, but I love it now. And especially if you have a team, I highly, highly encourage you to do enough self-development for yourself to fill your cup, but then you need to do extra to make sure that you can pour into your team. And that's something that I struggled with, is I would do self-development, but then everyone else would need my energy and I wouldn't have enough, and I'd feel exhausted by the end of the day. And so I would highly encourage you, if you feel exhausted by the end of the day, you're not doing enough self-development, because you need to do enough for yourself too to stay full. So the last one that I'm going to leave you with is Life Coach School podcast. And it was about your future self, how like I could write a letter to like 18-year-old Valerie. So think about where you're going to be 5 years from now. Think about that person. Think about that Valerie, or like that Kim, or that Megan. Okay. 5 years from now person, and have that person write a letter to yourself now. And what is that person going to say? Are they going to come back to you and say, you know what? I'm so glad that you pushed through and you did your non-negotiables every day, even though you didn't feel like it, because look at where I am now. Look at where you are now. You're an ambassador. You're a double ambassador because you took the time then. Or are they going to write you back? Sorry, my timer ran out real quick. Or are they going to write you back? Or are they going to say, gosh, I wish you wouldn't have watched so much Netflix. I wish you wouldn't have cared so much about what other people thought, because we would be so much further along if you had just stuck with it then. So that's what I'm going to leave you with. And Tiff is next.
Hello, everyone. My name is Tiffany Pfeiffer, and I'm a presidential diamond. And I am from Lubbock, Texas. And I'm going to kind of touch base a little bit about what Sarah talked about, just life. I feel like that just resonates so well with me. So I saw all the ones in the comment, and if I'm going to ask if you're bold enough, if you can just please share, what you have experienced in life, whether that's losses, maybe it's broken relationships, pregnancies, have you had a baby? Are you moving, or have you moved? Do you have health issues in your family? And the reason I'm asking this is that I want y'all to see, number one, life doesn't always come in a negative form. It also comes in a positive form, but adulting is hard. Like, it's just plumb hard, and you're not alone. And I want y'all to find someone that maybe has the same situation that you're going through in the comments right now. You know, social media is just like a highlight reel, and I have so much on my plate, way more than this 5 minutes will allow me to talk to y'all about. But the point is, we all have a plate full of life. And, you know, any struggles in life, it's a bruise. It's not a tattoo. And I feel like sometimes we, you know, we let that struggle in life just linger, and it stays with us, and it defines us, and it shouldn't. Like, you cannot let what's going on in your life, good, bad, or ugly, define you or define your business. Like, don't wait for life to slow down or get better, because life is always going to be complicated to some point. And in all honesty, if your heart's beating, like right now, every single one of your heart's beating, you're probably always going to have some sort of life on your plate. Like, maybe that's a spoiler alert, I don't know, but you're always going to have some type of life going on. And your toughest days are going to make you stronger. And it's just so important that you remember that within this business, that God doesn't put you down a journey that you cannot get through. And I'm trying to go so fast, so sorry. But, you know, I am so thankful for the struggles that I've gone through, because in all honesty, I wouldn't be here, and I wouldn't have stumbled across my strength if it wasn't for God taking me down that journey. I wouldn't be talking to y'all on this Zoom right now if it wasn't for the struggles that God put me through. I would not have joined this company. Like, he closed that door to open one so much greater than I ever thought that could have ever been open. But that's just the type of, you know, God that we have. And I'm kind of going down that path too, Valerie. But any point, y'all get it. One day you're going to be telling your story of how you overcame this and how you went through it. And that's going to be someone else's survival guide. And that kind of goes based off of what, you know, Megan was telling you. You know, find your story and don't be afraid of it. Like, your story is going to help so many people. Like, he trusts you with this journey because that's your, you know, basically you are his voice to reach out to so many other people that you need. This isn't just about, it works in a way. Use your voice to help other people and bring them into your network. Use that story. And I know that so many times it's easy to have life become your excuses. Like, if you're important to yourself, like, you have to be important to you, you're gonna find a way. If not, you're gonna find an excuse. Like, bottom line, I could have so many excuses right now. And so I just challenge you all right now to, you know, stop making excuses of why it can't be done and focus on the reasons why you must make it happen, because excuses will not write your paycheck. Nobody is too busy in life. It's just a matter of being disciplined and making sure that your priorities are right. And, you know, it's just, my whole thing is that regardless of what life throws at me and what is on my plate, I refuse to ever look at Miles or Zach and say, well, sorry, hun, you know, you have to go back to work because, you know, to the job that you hate, because this just got too hard. Or, sorry, Miles, mommy can't be there for you during the summer anymore because it's just easier to not do this and put it on the back burner. Like, I refuse to ever look at my family and say that. And I feel that when you have that big of a why, it doesn't matter what God puts in front of you, any type of life, good, bad, and ugly, you will get through that. So that's all that I have. I'm going to pass it over to Alicia now.
Hey guys, I am Alicia. I am a double diamond from the Jersey Shore. Today is my 1 year anniversary, so I'm really excited about that. So I'm going to talk about I'm going to talk about consistency and why it's so important to me. But real quick, first I want everybody to, if you like money, put a $sign in the chat. It's going to be everybody, because everybody likes money, right? Everybody wants some money? What do you got to do to get that money? You got to be consistent. Guess how? Every time you got to follow up every single day. You don't follow up, you're not going to reach out to them. You don't follow people, you're not going to get followers back. You don't add people, you're not going to make new friends. You don't get out host to post, you're not going to get LCs. You got to be consistent. If you're not consistent, those dollar signs aren't going to be in your checking account. It's as simple as that. You have to be consistent. Every single day, do the same thing. What do we get paid for? We get paid to enroll distributors and enroll customers. In order to do that, you have to stay consistent, right? No excuses. How many of you guys like to binge Netflix? Let's see it. Let's see the word binge in the chat. I like to binge Netflix. Imagine if you spent that hour, those 12 hours binging the DT messages. How many DTs do you think you'd enroll? Probably more than the shows you'd be watching, right? Come on. It's as simple as that. Consistency is everything. I did the same thing every day, all summer. Maybe the summer wasn't amazing, but guess what? September was. October's going to be. And that's it. So I don't need 5 minutes to explain how important consistency is to me. Consistency is everything. Every single day, wake up, follow people, add people, post to post. Everything, self-development. If you don't do self-development every day, guess what? You're going to consistently feel like what? But. Right? You're not going to feel good. So that's all I got to say. Stay consistent, and that is it. No consistency, no money. Okay? I love you guys, and I'm going Ambassador 2020. And it is now Amy.
Wow. Oh my gosh. I don't know how I'm going to follow. All of y'all are so amazing. Okay, let's see here. Well, I want to talk to you about the all of this combined. I'm going to kind of pull it all together, and I'm just going to tell you that what you need to do is it all starts with a decision. And I'm just going to tell you that I know that seems strange. It's strange. It seems crazy that it comes down to one word, and that is deciding. None of the stuff that they've talked about tonight can happen if you don't just make that decision to do it. And y'all, I'm just going to tell you a little bit of my background. I came into this business, well, first I should tell you, I didn't even tell you, I'm Amy Millett, and I'm a presidential diamond, and I live outside of Houston, moving to Sugar Land tomorrow. So, in the middle of moving right now and drinking keto coffee because I'm extremely exhausted. Anyway, so when I started this business, I thought that I was making a decision to start the business. Y'all, I was not making a decision. I was making a decision to try it out. And when tough times came, when life happened, when I thought it was getting hard, when the first no came, I decided that it was too hard and that I wasn't going to do it. And in my mind, because I didn't make the decision in the beginning to do it, I allowed myself to make a decision to back out, okay? So 6 months in, was struggling, and really basically ignoring my enroller, Ashley, and because I was feeling so guilty about it not working, well, guess what? I found myself and I made myself go to an event and a conference, and so I'm putting in a plug, y'all, get to conference. When you get to conference, something happens, and y'all, when I got there, it changed everything. I all of a sudden could see that I could do it. I walked away from that conference and I decided that I was going to do this business. And not only was I going to do it, I was going to figure it out. Now, does that mean that there haven't been struggles along the way over the last 7 years? There are ups and downs to this business, and we all have them. But I'm going to tell you is that every time I go back to a place of making a decision. And so I'm going to tell you, you decide to join, you decide to work. You decide to be consistent, just like everybody's talking about. You decide, though, that you're never going to give up. I told somebody the other day that what I have is I decided that I was going to be Ambassador Diamond. And I'm presidential right now, but I'm not ambassador. So I have a lot of work left to do. There's no way that I could ever give up because I haven't completed the decision that I made. And so I would encourage you is to decide, just make that decision to do that. The other thing is that when you make those decisions, when the tough things come, the social media changes, Facebook algorithms change, all of those things happen, all of a sudden you have now decided, I'm going to figure it out. And so because it's not an option, you know, for me, it's like my marriage. I don't give up on my marriage because I made a decision that I was not going to give up on it. Okay. And so now I make a decision that I'm not giving up on this business and that I'm going to figure it out even when it gets tough. So I'm just going to tell you that that's what I equate it to. And I make the decision to stay connected. And this is something that I think is so huge in your business. If you don't stay connected, you will allow yourself an excuse to get out. And I am speaking to you from experience. I have had a lot of life happen at times through my journey, and I have pulled way back. And when I do that, that's when the thoughts creep in that go, oh, you can't do this. You had your time. It's over. And now you got to move on. Now I'm telling you, no, there's so much more, and you have to decide to keep going. You have to decide. And so I'm just going to leave y'all with that, is that tonight you make the decision to go to conference. The company is not telling you this to go to conference just because they think, you know, they just want you to spend a bunch of money and go to conference or do whatever they want you to do. They're telling you because they know that it's going to be a good investment and that you are going to have the most amazing business if you will go and do it. Make the decision to grow. Make the decision to never give up, and make the decision to get connected. Make the decision to be consistent. Make the decision. So that's what I got for you tonight, friends. And this has been absolutely amazing. I guess I'm going to turn it back over to Alyssa. You going to close it out?
Sure. Oh my gosh, so many good tips. I will just leave you with this last thought. I love that we went around. You guys just heard from so many top leaders in this company, and nobody gave you a script to send out. Nobody gave you this power hour tip. Nobody gave you some game-changing thing for your business that you can do tonight that's going to make you $1 million, because the truth is it all just comes down to taking action, and not perfect action, just taking imperfect action and putting yourself out there and sharing the products and sharing the business and repeating over and over and over again with the consistency that Alicia so amazingly explained. But there is no secret. There is no magic sauce that you can pour on your business. It's all based on here and what you're putting out into the world, what you're sharing about your business, and just the discipline that you're willing to have, and just deciding, like Amy said, that your goals are worth it, and that, you know, all of these little small wins are going to turn into huge wins if you will just stick with it. And I truly believe the only reason that people ever fail this business is because they don't stick the course, and they don't trust the process, and they don't follow in the footsteps of all these people that are telling you all you have to do is put yourself out there and stick with it on a daily basis. So I would love for you guys to just, figure out what the lie is that you're telling yourself and why you can't be successful in this business, and then speak truth over that lie, and then find someone else that will consistently speak truth over that lie too, because we all have those doubts, those negative thoughts, those things that seep in. But you can make the decision to battle against those thoughts and go chase your dreams. So thank you guys so much for joining, all of these top leaders. You guys are so awesome for sharing your tips. I know we probably could have talked for like 3 more hours, but I can't believe we kept it to exactly an hour. That is pretty incredible. So all different personality types, all different top leaders. We've got a cowbell ringing. I can't hear it, but I can see it. I appreciate that. But thank you guys so much. I'm so excited to see so many promotions roll in this month, and to see all of you guys hopefully at conference. Have a great night.